Hello friends, wish you a very happy World Environment Day 2021. Do you know what is the theme of this World Environment Day 2021? It is ecosystem restoration. Do you know what is an ecosystem, or do you know what does the word restoration mean? I hope you know, but to give you a very brief idea, an ecosystem basically means the system where living organism interact with one another, living and non-living organism, or living or non-living entities interact with one another, and non-living and non-living entities interact with one another. To give you an example, what I mean is, for example, a tiger interacts with a deer. How? There is a prey-predator relationship. The tiger eats the deer. And again, the deer eats the grass. So there is again a relationship between deer and the grass. And finally, you again see grass has an interaction with soil, grass has an interaction with light, grass has an interaction with water. So you see here, some relationships are between living organisms and living organisms. And then there are some relationship between living organism and non-living organism. For example, when tiger is interacting with deer, it is a relationship between living organism and a living organism. But when a deer is interacting with grass, that is also a living and living organism interaction. But when a grass is interacting with soil, so soil is a non-living organism or non-living entity. So deer is interacting with a non-living, grass is interacting with a non-living entity. So these type of components of an ecosystem interact with one another, and that is how the ecosystem is formed. Now we come to the second part of the question. What does restoration mean? So restoration is saving something or reconstructing something. So why do we need to reconstruct? Because of the intervention of human, there has been many negative influence in the environment, and now it is time, before it gets too late, that we we undo the problems that we have created and do some better job and reclaim the ecosystem and make them viable for uh, biodiversity to thrive. That is what is ecosystem restoration. So in this talk, I will just show you something. I'll just share the screen and try to show a small slide. So here, if you see, there is a bird in a box. So this box, we created this bird box, and we have distributed such many bird boxes for birds, sparrows, magpie, robin to stay. But what is the necessity of creating such boxes? So once I was saying that ecosystem restoration and about ecosystem, do you know what is one of the most vulnerable ecosystems? The urban ecosystem is one of the most vulnerable. This is also an ecosystem where living thing interact, non-living thing and non-living thing interact, and non-living thing interact. So in an urban ecosystem, every day there is some change. In far-fetched hills, you will not find such drastic change in very small period of time. Also inside the parks or national parks or wildlife sanctuary, you will not see such drastic change coming every day. But in an urban landscape, because it is a human domain, that we are human are living like you and me, we have to come to school, we have to go to offices. Now school, there would be more student enrolling for the school for a course, so you need more buildings to be created to accommodate more students. So we have to go into other spaces, which we have to cut down forests and build houses, and such things continues as human being expands, or the population of human being is continually growing. So this habitat is very fragile because we live in cities mostly. Sorry. So we live in cities mostly, and these cities are the hub of human beings, but they are also hub of many biodiversity like sparrows and other wildlife. But did you ever notice? Did you ever care for them? We really love to go to far-fetched wildlife sanctuaries to see and come back. But do you ever think about whatever lives or whatever we share our home with, and how can we help them? How can we restore the ecosystem? How can we restore the habitat? How can we provide support to them? To give you a brief idea, that everything has a value. Biodiversity also, whatever you see around you, like grasses, tigers, lions, etc., has a value. So what is the value? All the food that we eat, we are not plants that we can create our own food. We have to be dependent on foods. So where do you see the food? We see the food, or we get the food from the biodiversity, whatever you eat. So the food may be directly from biodiversity or a processed product of the biodiversity. For example, if you are eating a potato, you are directly taking the biodiversity. But if you are taking bread or butter, so it is a processed form of biodiversity, impact of biodiversity. The cow is a part of biodiversity, which is giving milk, and you are processing it. And similarly, if you see, even if you are living in a city, there are certain places which are with forest cover and some are without at all forest cover. So if you see, those with forest covers are much cooler than that which are not. So they provide also cleaner water, air. They help us from pollution. They save us from pollution, because if there is lots of biodiversity, the pollution level will be low, because many biodiversity like plants and other wetlands can absorb those pollutants. So there are so many important things. And for centuries, poets and writers, many of you may be, in the arts field, where you may be interested to know about, like writing poetries and writing, novels. Maybe someday you will be a writer. So many writers, William Wordsworth and all, there are many, they are inspired by nature. So they are also source of happiness for us. So now you see, this is urban biodiversity. This is a photograph that I clicked just outside my house. So this is a magpie robin, the bird. And if you see, there is a pipe. So this is a very painful story, because we are not supporting biodiversity. So birds are dying for water. They do not get, because all the water that we have are under cover. It is inside tank, or it is inside some other things which is always covered. So where will the bird get water from if you do not have a pond or something, or river going past by your house? So how do the birds will get the water from? So sometimes bird have to go a mile ahead. You cannot imagine that a bird can have such sensibility that this is a pipe. Whenever the water, the owner of the house switch on the motor. Generally, the owner of the house switches on the motor round about 3:30 in the afternoon. And this clever bird, what it does, it waits there. It knows that there is a small hole or a gap or leak in the pipe, and the water will drip, and it will stay there. Once the pipe is once the motor is on, the water will start flowing, and there will be the drips from the leak, and this bird will drink. So it looks very nice, and the photograph also you may appreciate, but the story behind it, it is not that nice. So what you can do, you can always keep some food for the bird on your roof, maybe some a bowl of water at your roof, on your roof, and these are enough. So small steps go a very long way while we are conserving or talking about biodiversity. So this biodiversity, they are like, for example, this is a slide that I have shown from Dahi Handi festival in Janmashtami in Maharashtra. So if you see, all are stacked one above the shoulder of another, everybody. So this is their goal. They have to break this handi. Now, once this fellow hits the handi, it will break and everybody will celebrate. But everybody will be focusing on this guy, the guy at the top. But believe me, the guy at the bottom, everybody has their own importance in this whole chain. So if you remove any of these fellows, the whole system will collapse. The one at the top will also collapse. So to protect the one at the top, we have to also protect those in the bottom. So in the urban biodiversity, when we are talking about biodiversity around us or the ecosystem around us, they are at the bottom. So they are helping to hold the one at the top, like our tigers, like our elephant, like our rhino. But they are equally important. The butterflies are equally important. The sparrows are equally important. The frogs are equally important. The snakes are equally important. Even the lizards in your house are equally important. But we neglect them. Though they are available in abundance still now, but we neglect them. But we pay ticket, we pay price to go and see tigers and lions. Is it not something which is little hypocritic? Should we not also give equal importance to the biodiversity that live around us, because they need our help? They need our help. They are dependent on us, because the tree you cut tomorrow will destroy the nest of one bird. So if you can save the tree, you are making a change in the whole ecosystem, and you can do it. So I'll not see small step. These non-biodegradable plastic bottles can be used for, pots for plants. So I'll not go. I'll just show you some biodiversity so that you become happy that what Guwahati city has. So these are many frogs that we have in Guwahati city. These are many snakes that we have in Guwahati city. I hope you can see. So there are so many lizards there in Guwahati city, and there are turtles also. So there are many things. There are many birds in Guwahati city. You see, there are many, many, many species of bird in Guwahati city. So we created such bird boxes for birds to stay. You can do that, and you see the result there. Baby magpie, robin are there inside the bird boxes. So you can also do such things, and you will be very happy to do, because the result when you see this chick, they are crying or calling for food. You'll be very happy to see them when their mother come and feed them. So you can do some feeding things. You can just make from the refuse plastic bottles that you have from Pepsi or any cold drinks or any mineral water bottle. These are the techniques. These are very simple. Feeder and drinkers you can make very easily. And even, the shoe that you wear can be a potential bird box. You see, this is nothing. You just have to hook or put a nail through your shoes that you no longer use, and it can become a very beautiful bird box, as you can see in this image. So also some mammals are there in Guwahati. So many things. So have you ever imagined that you can do the same for Shillong? You can also do that for Shillong, and make a checklist of biodiversity living in Shillong. We do not have that yet right now. And you see, if you take the statistics and we made that checklist, you see Kaziranga and Guwahati area wise, they are having almost equal biodiversity. So that is amazing. See, one of the biggest and the most busiest city is having almost the equal number of biodiversity as per area. If you divide it by ratio, the area ratio, you'll come out with almost similar ratio. That is quite interesting. So now, if we go to one point, I'll just want to show you that, do you know Guwahati is Guwahati is the only city in India which has a city's animal to draw people towards conservation of biodiversity around us. That is river dolphin. We created a poll involving many school students, many school students, many school students joined us, and we had this poll, and we had three species where people are to do voting, and these three species are Ganges river dolphin that you see, and then greater adjutant stork, one bird, and then there was black soft-shell turtle, one turtle. And people voted for this Ganges river dolphin, and it became the city's animal of Guwahati. So similarly, you can also come up with a campaign where you can do some city animal of Shillong, where people will participate. Because when National Animal of India was selected, nobody asked us, nobody asked our opinion. Like, do you want tiger to be the national animal? Even when rhino became the state animal of Assam, we were not asked. Public participation was not there in a democracy. But when city animal was done, it was fully democratic, where people voted for their city's animal. When the people vote, they feel the sense of belonging. That is why people participation for conservation of urban biodiversity is most important. Now, if you do not participate and cut down all the trees around you, no legal body can prosecute you because it is up to your wish. But same thing if you do in a protected area or a national park, you will be prosecuted. But around you, you can do it. Nobody will prosecute. But it is your inner feeling that you have to feel that I have to say it. And once you start feeling that, that is the start of everything. So I hope I have talked enough. And I think what I wanted to say, these are small city campaign, city animal campaign shots that we did. And also we distributed bird box. If you see, we have distributed lots of bird boxes. And we have also acknowledged people who really care for biodiversity around us. This gentleman, old gentleman, always feeds monkey around his home. So maybe he's doing a great job. So thank you. Thank you so much. And I hope you like my talk as I like talking to you. I would really like your feedback. And if you want any further information or start a campaign by yourself for Shillong, I will really, really love to be a part of it. Thank you so much and God bless.